Your future isn't in horoscopes, it's not in predictions, and it's definitely not hiding in some motivational post. It's right here in what you're doing now. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, but in the choice you make today. And once you understand that, you'll never again hide behind excuses. This speech, it's not about far-off dreams, it's about how every small move shapes you, how one skipped step can become a lost year, how every now either pulls you higher or drags you back. Listen close, because after this, you'll either take control of your time, or time will take the life you could have had. Most people live as if the future is something that just happens, that someday, somehow, life will change, a better season will come, things will fall into place, and everything will be okay. But that is a dangerous illusion. The future doesn't arrive, it's grown. It doesn't fall from the sky, it rises from your decisions, from your actions, from your choices today. When you hit snooze, when you delay what matters, when you stay silent instead of speaking up, you shape one kind of future. But when you rise, take action, lean into change, you shape another, and both are real. The difference? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's action. Today isn't just a day, it's the seed of tomorrow's results. And no matter how small your step seems, if it moves you forward, it's already shifting the direction. The future isn't one giant breakthrough, it's 1,000 tiny choices stacked. Every time you choose discipline over chaos, that's change. Every time you speak truth instead of hiding, that's a new you. Every time you replace wait with do, your horizon moves. Whatever enters your life tomorrow, you're planting it today, not with wishes, not with words, but with your choices. That's the most honest deal life offers. You plant, it grows, but only what you truly plant. You don't become yourself in one flash. You don't wake up a genius, a leader, or someone confident. All of it is built from daily choices, the ones that seem small, insignificant, invisible, but they're the bricks of your identity. What you choose today, to read or scroll, to respond or stay silent, to work or delay, none of that disappears, it accumulates, and slowly it defines who you are, not in other people's eyes, but in your own. Every action you take whispers, "This is who I am." You think skipping the gym is no big deal, but your body remembers, "I don't train." You think leaving a task unfinished is harmless, but your brain logs it, "I don't follow through." And the opposite is also true. Push through, and your self-image begins to shift. Identity isn't a label, it's a behavioral habit. The more you repeat the new pattern, the deeper it roots. Your brain, your language, your body, all tune into one message. This is how I live, and therefore this is who I'm becoming. Don't go looking for yourself in dreams. Look in your routine. That's where the real answer lies, in your smallest acts, repeated daily. How many times have you told yourself, "Soon, I'll get to it"? How often have you waited, thinking there's still time? But time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause. It doesn't pile up. It moves. And if you're not moving with it, it leaves you behind. The future isn't a date on a calendar. It's a moving target. And if you don't act, it fades away. Every day without movement is a step in the wrong direction. Even if you don't notice the shift right away, it's happening. While you hesitate, others act. They walk through doors you're still thinking about. You can't catch up later if you don't start now, because every day you don't build your own life, you live in someone else's. Every minute you skip growth, you strengthen stagnation, and eventually, you're always chasing. Not because you weren't capable, but because you kept putting it off. Real change never starts from circumstances. It starts from realization. I have no more time to waste. Not someday, not when I feel like it, but today. Because today is the only point of impact. The future won't come find you. It's a space you either build or you miss. And if you don't act now, someone else will. Then your future becomes a result of your delay. Most people think life changes because of one big decision, a new job, a move, a relationship, a leap. But real transformation never begins with drama. It begins with small, repeated choices that over time become irreversible change. You either open a book today or open your feed. That moment only takes seconds. But if you make it daily, a year from now you're either deeper or emptier. You either say no to distractions or you drift through another unfocused day. And each time you think it doesn't matter. But each time your direction shifts, a millimeter at a time, then over a year, miles apart. It's not the size of the decision that matters. It's the direction it sends you. You either build your character or let it relax. And character, it's not a gift. It's the outcome of thousands of micro choices. That's why life is built not from events, but from the principles you live out daily. A small decision is a signal. The universe receives it. So does your body, your mind, your patterns. And even when nothing seems to change right away, the system has already moved. Quietly. Don't wait for the grand moment. It won't transform you. Only the steady rhythm of small choices will, because that's where everything begins. Dreaming is natural. To see the big picture, to want change, to imagine success, strength, fulfillment. There's nothing wrong with that. But if your dream isn't followed by action, it becomes a drug. It soothes you, gives the illusion of movement, when in truth, you're standing still. The real barometer of your future is what you're doing right now. Not what you hope for, not what you plan someday, but what you choose when no one's watching, when it's hard, when there's no support, no mood, no guarantee. Your action today is a shout to the universe. This is who I want to become. And the universe listens, not instantly, but certainly. It doesn't respond to fantasy. It answers your footsteps, and every step in the right direction, no matter how small, no matter how slow, builds your path forward. If today you choose strength, you grow. If you choose safety, quiet, preservation, you pause. And either way, that's your choice, which means it's your responsibility. Forget who you want to be 10 years from now. Ask yourself, who am I building today? And if today feels weak, don't comfort yourself with visions of the future, because you don't build it with hope, you build it with today's step. The past, it's a shadow. It doesn't act. It can't make choices for you. It won't rise up and live your day. The only thing it does is whisper, this is who you were. This already happened. This is why you can't. But those voices, they're echoes. And the moment you act, they lose their power. Real power isn't in memories of yesterday or in plans for next week. It lives only here in the now, in this moment where you rise or retreat. Right now, you're no longer a victim of the past or a prisoner of the future. You are powerful in this exact second. Everything that came before, it's still there, but it no longer decides. Even if fear ruled you for years, even if doubt was your default, you can break that with one decision. Today will be different. And that one step, shaky, uncertain, changes your direction, because today's choice rewrites your story. The future isn't built from old wounds. It's built from new habits. And the most powerful one, choosing strength, even when you're tired, unsure, or hurting. Because that choice is the point of power that neither yesterday nor tomorrow holds. You're not who you were. You are what you do now, which means you are who you can still become. You can want change. You can dream of results. Picture a new life. Imagine a stronger version of yourself. But between desire and reality, there's always one thing: ritual. What you do daily, automatically, without thinking, that's what shapes your life. Not your plans, not your vision board, your structure. The behaviors that run even when you're not motivated. Ask yourself, what's my first ritual each day? Does it move me toward power or away from it? What's my final action at night? Does it prepare me for tomorrow or rock me back into yesterday? You don't have to be motivated every day, but you must be organized. Because motivation comes and goes, but a system carries you forward. And if your system is built to feed your growth, even tired days move you. The future is built by consistency, and consistency isn't a gift. It's not just who you are, it's the result of built-in rituals. Ones that keep you moving, with or without inspiration. Don't try to change your life in waves. Build a rhythm. Don't chase the breakthrough. Build a structure that makes it inevitable. Because only ritual turns desire into reality. Here's a simple truth. Every yes and no you say today is a command, and the future will follow it automatically. Tomorrow won't hand you a new self if today you chose the old one. Tomorrow won't bring focus if you pick distraction today. Tomorrow won't be clear if today was filled with later. Every choice you make starts a loop. And even if it feels like it doesn't matter, that's an illusion. One choice doesn't change much, but 10 in a row, that becomes your new normal. And soon, you're no longer choosing. Your habits are. That's how future momentum is built. It either lifts you or weighs you down. And the more days you repeat the right choice, the easier it becomes. Not because life gets simpler, but because you get stronger. The future isn't an event, it's a process. One that starts right now. And if you want a different tomorrow, change just one yes today, one now, one I'm ready, then repeat. Time isn't your enemy, it's your amplifier. Whatever you launch, it multiplies. What do you do when challenge hits? When the task is hard? When the road's uncertain? In those moments, you either respond or avoid. And those reactions, repeated daily, shape your ability to lead or escape. The future won't get easier. It won't demand less. In fact, it will ask more of you. But if today you train yourself to respond, even to small things, then tomorrow you'll have the muscle of action. But if you avoid, tomorrow you won't dodge details. You'll dodge your life. People wait. I'll have more time later. I'll be in the mood. Motivation will come. But responsibility doesn't show up after inspiration. It comes before, through action, through showing up in discomfort, through the habit of not backing down. Every answer you give today, even the smallest, is training. Stepping outside into the cold, finishing that tough task, making the call you've been dreading. All of it builds you for the moments ahead where you won't have time to think. You'll either hold firm or fall apart. The future belongs to those who are ready to respond. Not when it's convenient, but when it's required, because that is where real power is born. You look at your day, and it feels like chaos. Unfinished work, scattered thoughts, emotions bouncing between stress and exhaustion. And you wonder, how do I build anything good from this? But this messy, imperfect, unprepared today is exactly your best chance. Because your breakthrough tomorrow won't come from ideal conditions. It'll grow from your ability to rise up in this moment, when nothing feels right, when you're not in the mood, when everything feels heavy, and yet you move. That kind of action builds the real foundation. Not the grand tomorrow, but small wins today. Not bursts of inspiration, but steady responses to challenge. Even when it feels like nothing, life takes note. And each time you whisper, "I won't quit," it becomes law. The future isn't a reward. It's a structure built from what you have. And even if all you have are fragments, you can still build from them as long as you show up daily. Today's chaos, it's not a barrier. It's building material, and what you make from it becomes your life. A lot of people live with the feeling that something will change, something will happen, things will work out. It's a comforting thought. It gives the illusion of hope without requiring effort. But the future, it doesn't respond to vagueness. It doesn't answer to someday. It follows one thing: clarity. You won't build a new life just because you kind of want change. But you will if every day you do specific things: wake up 30 minutes earlier, sharpen focus, reduce noise, increase action. These tiny repeated shifts, that's the language the future understands. Clarity is a signal. It's when you stop dreaming of success and define it for yourself, then take steps, even inches, in that direction. Because it's better to walk one clear meter than wander a lifetime in fog. When your desires are vague, your actions are weak. But the moment you say, "Each day I do X to reach Y," the future has to respond. It always sinks to your precision. If you don't define your tomorrow, someone else will. Or worse, randomness will. Every one of us has dozens of dreams in our mind. We want to be stronger, bolder, freer. But a dream not anchored in reality, it vanishes. It dissolves in distractions, problems, noise. Only what's fixed survives. Write your goal and it becomes real. Schedule your action and it gets a chance to happen. Because your mind respects structure. When it sees a task set for Thursday at 9:09 a.m., it shows up. It mobilizes. It starts working with you. Without a calendar, action stays emotional. You feel inspired. You're on fire. But the day ends and nothing's changed. Why? Because you never built a container for the action. And the future never got the message. Here's where the new me begins. The most successful people, they're not better, not smarter, just more structured. They don't trust moods. They build motions. That's why they win the long game. Write it. Schedule it. Lock it in. Because the future doesn't form in chaos. There's a dangerous feeling that sneaks up on everyone. I'm not making progress. It's going too slow. What's the point? And in those moments, you lose belief. You stop. But the truth is, progress isn't always felt, especially at the start. But it's real, and it's compounding. Your daily efforts, even the small ones, are changing you. When you open a book instead of your feed, your brain logs it. When you resist temptation, discipline strengthens. When you say no to the old path, you start building a new pattern. Progress isn't loud. It doesn't explode, it trickles, like water shaping stone, like a muscle built from reps, like a mindset rewired by routine. And when it feels like you're stuck, you're actually moving. The road's just long, which makes it worth walking. The future doesn't come from big breakthroughs. It comes from staying the course. It's the reward for not quitting, even when you don't see results. Keep moving, not because you're inspired, but because it's right. And progress, while invisible now, will one day be undeniable. You have two versions of yourself, the one you are today, and the one you want to become. The first is familiar, predictable, full of old habits and fears. The second, strong, focused, capable. But between them is a gap. And you won't cross it with dreams. You'll need a bridge. That bridge, it's called self-discipline. It's the engine that moves you forward, not in leaps, but in steps. Because no transformation happens overnight. It's built through consistency, and it's discipline that keeps you aligned when motivation fades, when comfort calls, when support is missing. Discipline is action despite emotion. It's choosing principle over mood. And every time you don't quit, don't betray yourself, don't give in, you get closer. And here's the truth. Discipline isn't natural. It doesn't show up by magic. You have to grow it, like a muscle, like a mindset. Every repeated action strengthens it. Every "I'm doing it anyway" builds the structure. And soon, it's not effort, it's identity. Your bridge to your future self isn't in books or videos or lectures. It's in this one question: can I follow through on what I promised myself yesterday? You might not feel ready. You might still doubt, still lack a plan, still hesitate. But one thing isn't waiting for your comfort. Time doesn't slow down. It doesn't pause. It doesn't offer a second round. It just moves. And with every tick, your future either comes closer or slips further away. Progress doesn't require a perfect start. It just needs you not to waste the day. Because losing a day isn't just -1. It weakens your pace, blurs your focus, strengthens the habit of delay. And all of that, it damages your future self. While you wait, time serves those who move. While you think, someone's already building. And when you finally meet, the difference won't be talent. It'll be resolve. Time doesn't ask, are you ready? It just moves. And if you move with it, you grow. If you don't, you fall behind. It's that simple. You don't need to be ready. You need to be present. In every day, every decision, every now. Because tomorrow isn't another chance. It's the result of what you do today. Don't look at your dreams. Don't look at your 5-year plan. Look at your day. What you do in the morning. How you start. how you respond to challenges, how you talk to yourself. These actions are your daily language, and that language predicts your future. Your habits aren't just daily functions. They're coded programs running with or without your emotions, and they either pull you closer to your goals or push you further away. Most importantly, they create the system you live in. Choose ease every day. You're training avoidance. Dodge discomfort. You're training escape. Trade focus for fragments. You lose depth. But choose discomfort. Own responsibility. Take action without perfect conditions, and you program yourself for growth. This is a prophetic language, not mystic but practical. It sets a pattern, how you engage with the world, and the world mirrors it right back. So don't ask what your future looks like. Just watch your choices today. They're already speaking, loud and clear. Every day is a gym, but most people don't realize which muscle they're training. Refuse to act, and you train weakness. Delay decisions, and you strengthen hesitation. Choose comfort, and you deepen dependency on ease. But choose discomfort, and you build endurance. Finish what you start, and you forge discipline. Take imperfect action, and you train willpower. It's never just a day. It's either a micro fracture in your strength or a micro win that compounds into stability, because those who train discipline daily eventually don't notice it. It just becomes them. And those who train avoidance one day wonder why everything feels heavier. Your strength isn't a gift. It's the outcome of thousands of tiny decisions stacked. Not momentum, but accumulation. So while you're watching someone else's results, remember this. You're holding the most important tool in your hands today. And today, you're either building or breaking down. Train wisely, not for applause, but for the version of you that can handle more, create more, feel more deeply. Most choices seem small. Sleeping in, skipping a workout, ignoring an important message. They feel like one-offs. But nothing is ever just once. Every now forms a pattern. That pattern becomes habit. That habit becomes behavior. That behavior becomes lifestyle. And suddenly, you're no longer choosing. You're just living that way. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. Every decision is a vote you cast to your own brain. Here's how we respond to this. And the more you vote for strength, the easier it becomes to summon it. The more you vote for chaos, the more you become a passenger. When you say just this once, you're not just doing it. You're launching a model, one that'll repeat itself. Unless you break it intentionally, it becomes your default. That's why it matters most to act when it's time, not just when it's easy. Because every now is an investment in who you're becoming. So ask yourself, are you investing in weakness or in strength? Every single day, you spend energy, that you realize it or not, on doubt, on drama, on avoidance, or on work, on creation, on focus. Either way, it's an investment. Energy doesn't disappear. It either becomes power or vanishes. Even the little things, how you respond to a problem, how you think, what you do in the first 30 minutes, all of it leaves a trail. And that trail either leads you forward or pulls you off course. People aren't tired from action. They're tired from misused energy. They spend their fire holding on to the old instead of building the new. They burn out doubting instead of deciding. Then they say, I'm out of energy, but it was there, just spent in the wrong place. Today, start treating energy like a strategist. Don't just do, direct, aim, align. Then even the most ordinary day becomes a deposit into who you're meant to be. Energy is not a gift, it's a currency. And the only question is, are you spending it or investing it? A lot of people feel surprised when nothing's changed after a year. But the future is no surprise. It doesn't fall from the sky. It's not a lottery, it's math. It's the result of what you repeated every single day. Life always balances the books. It doesn't reward randomly. It returns what you planted. Invest strength, you get results. Run away, you get loss. Choose ease every time, you get emptiness. choose challenge, you get pride. Here's the truth. Your results will never exceed your behavior. You can't live a massive life while making tiny escapes. You can't build depth while always choosing surface. The world doesn't adjust to your plan. It adjusts to your standards of action. Your future isn't far away in someday. It's here, in your gestures, in your repetitions, in your habits. So don't guess what's coming. Just look at your day. The answer is already written. People love to blame the outside, politics, crises, other people, lack of time, but the truth is simple. The future isn't about the world around you. It's about you and that world, your position, your action, your strategy. Circumstances change. Sometimes they help, sometimes they hit. But in every era, some people grow, others make excuses. The difference, not talent, not luck, just this. Who do you choose to be in these conditions? A spectator or a builder? Your future isn't out there, it's inside you, in who you become when others freeze. When others complain, you can move. When they hesitate, you can decide. While they wait for better times, you live like now is your chance. The future doesn't demand perfect conditions. It needs a ready you, not outside, inside, in your mindset, your responses, your ability to stay focused when the world loses its grip. Then once you get this, you'll never say, I don't know what's coming. Because now you do, it's whatever you choose to create. There is a moment that changes everything, not when you're fully prepared, not when everything's clear, but when you simply decide, I'm done waiting. Because that decision, that's the moment you take your power back from the past, from the doubt, from the chaos, and bring it right back into action. There is no magic someday, no perfect readiness, just you and your ability to tell yourself the truth. And then not overthink it, but move. Move. Everything you picture, strong, free, decisive, it doesn't start with big plans. It starts with one non-negotiable action. No maybe tomorrow, no let me think, just done. That step doesn't need to be huge, just real. And after that, another and another, until action becomes rhythm. Rhythm becomes style, and style becomes strength that multiplies daily. The more decisive moves you make, the less room fear has. Because fear lives in pause, but you live in motion. Move. We all love the idea of a breakthrough. That one big win, that flash of genius. But reality, it doesn't reward the brightest or the most talented. It rewards those who don't quit, those who pick a path and walk it every day. Consistency, that's the real power. It's not about gifts. It's not about inspiration. It's about doing the right thing until it feels natural. That's what builds the foundation for your next level. Even the smallest actions, repeated hundreds of times, shape you more than one big moment ever could. Even when you can't see progress, consistency is rewriting you from the inside out. A true breakthrough is when the old you doesn't come back. When new behavior becomes the baseline. When discipline isn't hard, it's who you are. And that only happens when you stop chasing highs and hold your line. The future doesn't ask how brightly you started. It asks, did you stay in the game? You can keep planning forever. Make perfect systems, vision boards, goals lists. But until you act, it's all just thought. Potential without output. And that means loss. The biggest gift you can give yourself tomorrow is action today. Even a small one, even messy, even imperfect, because it creates momentum. It breaks indecision. It fuels the system. Your future isn't made in daydreams. It's made in muscles, in the fatigue after hard work, in the push to finish what you start, in the word you speak when it's scary, in the decision that doesn't wait. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Make one. Just by starting, and you'll see the more you act, the less you fear. The more rhythm, the less chaos. And that distant future, it starts to make sense, because it becomes the natural result of who you show up as daily. You can't guarantee tomorrow, but you can guarantee your impact today. And that is enough to change everything. You can believe in fate, that everyone has a path. But even if that's true, there's always room for your hand. Because the moment you start moving, you become co-author. Your actions, they edit the script. They send a signal to the universe, I'm ready, and destiny pays attention. Every action you take today is a contract. No words, no paper, but powerful. Because life doesn't read your intentions, it responds to your steps. If you walk in circles, it keeps you boxed in. If you break your pattern, it sends new people, new chances, new doors. Your future isn't set in stone. It's fluid. Every day you either reinforce the old story or launch a new one. Not through magic, but through action, through choice, through ownership. That's why you can't wait for life to change. You've got to become the change. Your action today isn't just a move. It's the sentence that rewrites your story.